Good evening. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Okay. Hariom. Good evening.
कैसे हैं आप?
All good. All good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for taking out the time. और मैं सबसे पहले चाहूंगा कि आप इंट्रोड्यूस करें अपने आप को, बट उसके साथ एक बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन है, आप उसका भी आंसर दें।
जी
और वो
जरूर।
क्वेश्चन है, योगा से क्या होगा?
जी, ज़रूर। Thank you to have me. Myself, Dr. Vaishali at Luke. Educational wise, I'm a physiotherapist. I have my bachelor's and master's in physiotherapy, as well as I have my master's in yoga, THYC, YT certifications from Ayush, YCB, and CIAYT, and furthermore certifications in the both of the fields. So I have been associated to the institute since 6 years, and I have been teaching anatomy and physiology for yoga therapy courses. So teaching them about the pathologies, about the diseases, including psychosomatic conditions. So being in this field, I have studied and I have learned that most of the diseases, that is also explained in Bhagavad Gita and Patanjali Yoga Sutra, right? So to know more about the diseases, it says that the diseases first they come from the mind, and as per yogic concept, as we have five different koshas, the first body, that is our annamay kosha, it is only a tool to show what disturbance is happening in our mind and the pranic body. So that is how we can help people through yoga. So if I would say ki yoga se kya hoga, that is the main topic of the conference for today.
Yes,
So I would say that many people say that, oh, you're practicing yoga or you're studying Bhagavad Gita, you're not that old to study that, right?
correct.
So people have different aspects to look towards yoga. So I would say that yoga will not eliminate the problems in the life, but of course yoga, regarding the psychology and the yogic concept about the Bhagavad Gita and other scriptures, helps us to stay stable mentally in all those difficulties and problems, and it changes the perspective towards life and all those small techniques and principle which governs it very easily. So I would say that yes, yoga helps us to live in a better life, mentally, physically, and emotionally, of course.
So we can say that as there is written that prevention is better than cure. So yoga help us to prevent diseases so that we don't need to go to doctors. Yes, doctor gave us cure, but yoga help us to prevent diseases.
Very true. Very true. That's true.
So then how we can inspire people to do yoga? Because not only in India, everywhere we see there are very, very few people who take yoga very seriously. So how we can inspire them?
I would personally say that me being Indian and a Brahmin, I belong to a Brahmin family. So, whatever rituals or cultures we have in our Indian culture, whatever the festivals or rituals, people do not know the basic reason behind that. Like, if I give you a very simple example, hardly will take a minute, that in India we celebrate Karwa Chauth, right? So if you might have seen a tiny pot or a utensil or mud vessel, what they use, right? So if we try to understand in that concept, so Karwa Chauth comes before Diwali, and we can say that from that time winter starts, right? So that pot is not only for long life for the husband, but of course for the family, because as per Ayurvedic scriptures or the studies, what we see that if you practice Jalaniti for 15 days, then you will be away from the cough and cold and other conditions what we come across in winter season. So this is one simple example. So if we want to really inspire people, what I feel is that if we let them know that what culture we are following and what is the reason behind that, it always connects for a healthy living. And also from that we can pull out the yogic concept to make it clear, more understanding for people who take yoga as an old practices.
So just to understand more about this, do you help people to understand about yoga, or do you practice in some institute, or are you working as a freelancer?
Yes, I have been associated to Paramanand Institute in Indore. It is the leading institute in Central India, right? And I'm been associated for 6 years with this institute. So I teach students yoga therapy courses. Now we have worldwide and global lectures, right? So we have more of the students coming from foreign countries. So it is a really good practice to make them understand and conjugate modern medicine and yogic concept, so that helps in a better way. And being in a yoga therapy field, I have seen and I have studied that if we see Bhagavad Gita with the glasses of a therapist, then in that Arjun was a patient and Krishna was a therapist.
Wow.
So if we try to see Bhagavad Gita or read Bhagavad Gita in that concept, then it makes a totally different concept, and it really helps.
Great, great. And would you suggest few books which yoga teachers or people who want to learn about yoga and Ayurveda and everything, we can go and buy some books if you would like to suggest?
Okay. If I would like to suggest for beginners, of course, Bhagavad Gita is a beautiful book, what we get from Gita Press, because many books and many printers or authors, they would have translated as per their understanding. And what I have seen that Bhagavad Gita is very close to its meaning, right? So you can take the book from Gita Press. Also, you can study other scriptures like Shiva Samhita or Hatha Pradipika or Patanjali Yoga Sutras. These are very basic books what we can understand easily. So beginners can also buy and understand that.
One more question: why you choose this career, and what's the future if someone want to get into the career? What will be the scope for them, and how they can grow in this career?
That's a really good question. Many students ask me the same. Even my parents ask that why you have jumped from the medical science or medical field into the yogic field. So my own personal experience was that when I used to deal with patients who were bedridden or paralytic, or if I had a chance to talk to their family, right? Being a physiotherapist, we mainly deal with the physical body, but if that person or that patient is bedridden, they have more of the emotional turmoils, like, oh,
Hmm.
I'm dependent on my family, or I cannot provide, or people are suffering because of me. Right. So if mental blockages or emotional blockages, if they're not removed, then the we can say the rate of treatment or the rate of result, it drops down.
Okay.
And coming into the yogic field, I would say that I understood the connection of mind and body. That
Mhm.
is not what we can find clearly in the modern medicine. So yes, so I wanted to help humanity. So that is one of the goal.
So people who are doing this 100 hours or 200 hours or 300 hours certification program,
Hmm.
so uh, will it help them to grow, or will it help them to cure patient, or they should go for a good career like 3 years 5 years program?
Okay, so I would suggest that if a person is trying to jump into the yogic field, then as if we make a person learn swimming, right? They first try to use their hands or flap their legs in the water, and then they try to dive in after good practice. So I would say that 200 and 300 or 100-hour course is a good start to understand their own body. And also, if they start learning the basic scriptures of yoga, then
Mhm.
they will understand what is the crux, right? So that is just a beginner course. But if people really want to deal with patients or people, then therapy course works better than the other 200 or 300 courses.
How therapy course is different from this 100 200 or 500 hours courses?
Okay, 200 hours or 300-hour course, it basically works and deals more with the asana practices, right? But when we talk about the therapy course, then it dives in more with more details. Like if I talk specifically for my subject, right? So in 200 and 300, what is digestion, how digestion works, or what is the process, only that much. But when we jump into therapy courses, then we try to work in more detail, we try to understand in more detail what are the hormones and what are the secretions and what are the pathologies, conditions, and as per that, what you should do and what you should not do using yoga. So there are also do's and don'ts, contraindications and indication. So I would say that therapy course gives a better understanding about do's and don'ts for specifically for patients and clients.
Okay. So in one line, why we should do yoga or meditation every day?
Okay, that's again a good question. Every person, I would say, should do or practice physical yoga at least for half an hour and 10 to 15 minutes of meditation to know themselves or to be with themselves. Nowadays, people live in external world and they lose connection with themselves. So when you practice yoga, it will help you to understand exactly what's happening within and to sort the turmoils of emotions and some disturbances if anyone is having like stress or anxiety. So that would be a better option.
Thank you, thank you. Your thoughts will really help because in India, like we all know about yoga, and since we have started celebrating International Yoga Day, on that day everyone will do yoga, but after that everyone will forget. So we are trying so that we can reach each and every person in India so that they can start doing yoga. Maybe children, adult, because what happens, people after 40, 45, or 50 years they get into yoga because they need therapy. But we want that starting from the age group of 3, 4, children should start doing meditation, breathing, yoga practice so that in future they can grow. That's why we have started this campaign, why yoga, and how we can inspire so that everyone can start doing yoga practice. And
Of
I really thank you that you have given your time and you have suggested so many things. Your thoughts, really appreciate this. Thank you for your time. If you'd like to share something or any views, please.
Of course, as you told that yes, it should be started from a very young age. Now, being again, I'm very fond of Indian culture. So, from childhood, when we teach children how to chant mantras, every mantra is connected to different practices of pranayama. So, even if children do not know what pranayama is, by chanting mantras, they will practice it anyhow. And when they grow, when they study, when they learn, then they know the meaning. Okay, this is what I practiced and now I can see the benefits and results. So I would say that yes, of course, it's like if your vehicle is damaged, right? If you drive your vehicle for maybe 10,000 kilometers and then you say, oh, now I have to do something or want to correct some mechanism, it will be too late, right? So I would say that before reaching to 10,000 kilometers, keep your vehicle serviced every week or every day so you will be having
Right,
a better life ahead.
right.
And that is a
Uh,
really good step to reach out in the world and spread the word or the true meaning of yoga, what that is.
okay. Again, I know there is very less time left, but again, one more question: at what age you started doing yoga?
Physically, if I would say, I started practicing yoga when I was at age of 7 or 8. But I was connected to the scriptures with my grandfather from very young age, from the time I started speaking. So even my grandfathers and my parents are more spiritually connected. So I
Mhm.
have been learning the spiritual aspect and physical aspect from them.
That's great.
So it's
That's
been
great.
very long years.
And once again, thank you for your time. It was really very short interview, but we are trying to reach as many people, yoga practitioners, yoga professionals, or teachers we can. So I really appreciate your time and thank you for your time.
Anytime. Let me know if I could be of any help. Thank you,
Sure,
Hariom.
sure. We are going to organize an event soon, so definitely we'll reach you and we'll invite you for your a session if it is possible. And right now we are also doing a morning chanting, that is a meditation of 30 minutes in from 4:30 a.m. to 5 a.m. And we have reached to many people. Whoever want to join, this is totally free, and whoever want to volunteer or whoever want to be part of this, we are inviting them. So if you get time or if you are available, then definitely join for the meditation practice or session also, and it will help others also, and it will motivate each one of us.
Of course, of course. Thank you for that. I will surely find out time for that. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you to have me.